it. If these two happens, how else you can expect the other guy to get convinced on what you talk, right? Now, the third problem with people who go for interview, right? Attempting a position too early. That means just because I am 4 years in the industry, I want to become a lead. This is a total misconception. Just based on years of experience, people feel they are lead or managers. Aging doesn't help. Just because the guy is 4 years, the problem we have seen many times. When we ask, why do you want to leave your current job? The answer is, I spent about 4 years now. I want to go to the leadership role. Okay, right? Or I'm now 8 years old in the industry. I want to become a manager. The moment we hear that, resume is marked as rejected. Clear, concrete. Because this guy equates his or her age in the IT industry towards a role. When you go up in the ladder, expertise matters, not number of years of experience. Nowadays it's very strict. Companies do look for all these things. They are very, very clear. I have seen many people still being a senior software engineer even after 10 years of experience, because that is what they are capable of. Just because they are aging in the industry, we cannot just keep on promoting them. So people, they feel this is the reason, the root cause is peer pressure. Hey, my friend who joined along with me is going here, I should also do. The peer pressure, right? The root cause is the peer pressure. It's very difficult. We are all living in the society, right? Then the problem is, when the peer pressure happens, people want to get rid of something. What can they get rid of? Only the current job, right? So go and then attend an interview. By doing that, you are exposing your ignorance, at the same time wasting other people's time. Attempting a position too early. In fact, we have seen many people, okay? Let me tell you, a few weeks back, we interviewed a person returned from US. 6 years in US, right? And before that, 3 years in India. This guy says, I want to be GM of this business unit. Then we talked about, okay, we just gave the respect to that guy for 9 years, fine. We thought that he has that ability. But when you ask the pinpointed questions, what did you do last year? Which is the project? This guy was working as a mere, I would say not even a designer, only a coding person, right? Coding person, a developer, but he wants to move from developer to the general manager straight away. Because of what? Oh, I got US experience. It doesn't matter at all. And we have in fact met one of our customers. That person said, based on somebody's experience for 15 years, we brought him in to our company and put him as the delivery in charge. Within 15 days, we are forced to fire that guy. Reason is, it is a mistake. I will talk about the mistakes of the employers also. Just because a number of years and the companies they worked and the countries they worked, it doesn't mean they really fit that situation, that role. Okay? So, attempting a position too early is a boomerang. That means you are not ready for that situation. you are attempting to that, there is a guaranteed failure. Attempting many interviews may not solve the problem. Unless you really gain that experience, you may not cut it. This is another problem with the people who are going for interviews. Is it going fine so far? Are you able to hear me well? Can you please raise the hands? And also, please raise the hands now if you feel that you have faced one of these three issues in your career so far. Okay, I see 2 hands, 4 hands, 6 hands. Yep, 40 hands. Perfect. That means this is also a good sample for us to check back whether whatever we are finding with our internal survey and meeting with customers, now we have got worldwide audience. This is the same thing that is echoing our view, right? Right. And again, this is all recorded. We will be sending back this notepad to all the people who are attending this webinar, so don't worry about this. Now, another problem, okay, with people who are going for interview, bad communication. Previously what I talked about is unable to convince or unable to communicate, but now I am talking about they communicate well but not to the mark. But when I say bad communication, mistakes, right? Carefree tendency, lethargy, right? A bad communication, right? Not only oral, also in writing. Many times we ask people to write maybe a single paragraph about something or narrating a typical business situation. In fact, one of the positions that we recently rejected, we almost zeroed in on that guy. Okay, let us go ahead and then hire. When we asked to ask that guy to reply back to some mail, right? The lethargy, that means typically chalta hai tendency. Chalta hai meaning, okay, let it go, not a problem, right? The good communication skills. I'll talk about the good communication part. Bad communication meaning many people mistake talking fast is fluent. That's not the case. No, absolutely no. Just because a person talks fast, it does not mean that guy is fluent. The purpose of talking itself is making the other person to understand what you talk. If that doesn't serve the purpose, and if you talk about the people who talk in advertisements or in radio jockeys, right? IFM radio, it's a standard way, or telebrand advertisements, right? So the problem is people mistake talking fast with talking fluent. When they talk fast, they try to fill the gap, they give unwanted gaseous information, which is not right. The other end does not receive it well. When you try to talk fast, it also gives a feeling the other end that, okay, this guy is trying to intimidate me, right? He's trying to force me, right? Or he's trying to divert me by doing that. That's also bad communication. You may be talking correct grammatically, but if you talk too fast, then if you talk without paying attention, right? That's another thing. When we say bad communication, even emails, the resume, right? Everything is checked. In fact, I distinctly remember one incident where when we sent one resume to one of our clients, the client outrightly rejected it. They said, inside the resume, there were 3 mistakes. One is grammatical, one is spelling, one is factual. You guys didn't check that. You as an employer should have checked it before you sent the resume to us. So clients are very, very strict in that. The problem is, if they don't see, you escape. But if they see that mistake right in the first email or in the first resume that they see, that forces them to reject, because you are sending a valid document to the customer and that has got bad English, absolutely rejected. And another most important thing that I'm always talking about, this carefree tendency. Okay, you ask some question, I answer something, right? Whether it is right answer or wrong answer, I don't even care. Just, okay, my aim here in this interview is to talk. They just talk, right? And another classic example, right? Certain phrases, right, are not actually liked by people, right? This is an informal session, okay? The way openmentor.net conveys the message, mentors the people, is very informal. We don't want to put a PowerPoint with all the designs, show you this is what to do, right? We talk casually. The reason is we want to mentor you. If it is formal, then we will put a PowerPoint, present, and then ask your opinion, right? Then it makes you tough. Many people will be afraid of this, right? Afraid of this, and then they don't even come to the webinar. They are afraid of something else. In that, the byproduct of learning gets lost. So open mentor way of doing things is different, but when you go to a proper interview, you need to talk something right. When I say certain phrases are not actually liked by people, like many people, when they talk, use this, like kind of, right? This is sometimes, this may be because of their practice, maybe mannerism. They are used to that. But when you go to the interview, I, as a mentor, when I talk to you, I will ask you, do you get this? Okay. Right. So I will use these okay, right, all these words to ensure that you are understanding what I am talking. But when I go for an interview or for a meeting, I cannot start using these words like, okay, right? It's a formal meeting. So certain words, when you go for a formal interview, must be avoided. But people don't realize. People, and also something like this, wanna be, right? I wanna be by talking like that, what do you achieve? Are you trying to show off? I want to talk in that particular accent. What do you want to show off? Nothing. Showing off is not going to help you. So when you are going for a formal interview, you need to be precise in what you are answering. No extra words, filler words. These are called filler words. That means you don't know certain answers, so you try to fill the gap. By the time you utter these words, you get to know some answers, then you start answering that. So don't use filler words. And also we used to see a lot of people, this wrong phrase. In fact, one of our teachers used to say, I can be able to, people use this, I can able to write Java programs. Honestly tell me, how many of you have encountered people using this phrase can and able together in a sentence? In your current experience, how many times you see the people telling, I can able to do this? Please raise your hands. Oh, too many hands raising. Way too many hands raising. Okay, right? We should not do this. By proper English, this I can able, this is a wrong English. Many people, including seniors, use this. In fact, if you want to get some standard phrases which are used by most of the people, just because most of the people use, it doesn't mean it is right. Avoid this can able to do, can able to write, can able to send a mail, right? Don't do that. We can talk about some of these, I would say, prohibited phrases, but the list is too large. I just covered a few. But make sure whatever phrase that you are using, and if it comes repeatedly, it makes the situation all the more worse. So don't do that. It's very, very important. So just to cover from this side, the interviewer, the interviewee, what mistakes the person does is unable to deliver or communicate, unable to convince, attempting positions too early, bad communications, right? These are all the top reasons why they get rejected. And one more thing, ability to prove that they go extra mile. This is one of the foremost criteria, right? When I say go the extra mile, that means you should show that you are committed. You will do some extra work to make something happen. Many times when we ask a simple question, people will say, I don't know the answer. Fine. If you don't know the answer for a particular problem, what will you do? I will Google it. Okay. Fine, standard answer. Then what do? You don't get the right answer there. I will talk to my peers. Okay, still you don't get. Ask friends. You still don't get that answer. Right? So I will Google it. Ask somebody who is knowledgeable. Then what else you will do? For example, I am asking you a question. You don't have that particular answer in say load runner or say QTP or say in Selenium. What do? Google it. I will try by myself. Okay, think logically. But if you look at it, you are talking about Selenium. Very few people answered first. I will first refer Selenium help file documentation, or I will first refer load runner documentation or C# documentation in MSDN. Standard answer is Google. That means even a 10th standard boy or girl can tell that answer. I can Google it. But very few people will say, yes, I know the answer will be here. This is with respect to C#. MSDN forums will definitely have that pinpointed answer, right? Pinpointed places to find solutions. That is very important. Google, anybody can do. If somebody answers I will Google, that means they have a generic solution but not a specific solution. But if someone says this is something to do with Oracle, right? Someone asks, can someone leave the webinar in between? Yes. If you feel this is boring, yes. Obviously you have the right to leave, not an issue. But we will try to make it interesting, okay? Now, pinpointed solutions, that means they have to show they read and continuously enhance knowledge, right? In fact, a few people we recruited, because when we asked them, what do you do? Okay, you finish your work in 7 hours. You have got another 1 hour free. What will you do? Some people very specifically said, we try to solve the problem of others. We are very fond of that. I am very happy to troubleshoot problems, right? Happy to troubleshoot problems. That means this guy has the knack to face the challenge. So you need to show that your intention is facing challenges. You need to show that. That means you are welcoming your challenges. You are not going away from the challenges, right? If people show this, then only we can say, oh, this guy can scale up, because they always try to go one step extra than the others. Troubleshooting problems, facing challenges. In fact, a few people we interviewed, they said, we asked the standard question, last 6 months, what did you read as a book? Answer is no. No book reading habits. That means at a junior level also, it's very difficult. Some companies do recruit, but certain companies are now, almost I would say 60 to 70% of the companies are looking at scalable people. That means you stop reading. It may be technical book, right? Even reading a novel is good thing, because your conversational styles, your English can improve. Reading habit always shows, whether it's a novel, maybe Harry Potter, maybe anything. If you don't read, you are not expanding your horizon. So reading habits, right? Now what we have done is, people are feeling some lack of information. So what we did is, I'm sure many people would have got information about our blogs. People felt we want credible information on the web. So what we have done is, we have created a blog, softsmith-testing.blogspot.com. Okay, so I can send that information to you. Or even if you do testing guru blog, you should be able to get this blog. In this, we are trying to do, right? You can read some good information. We have started uploading our electronic book. We have started writing a book called License to Crack, especially for testers. There are multiple posts. If you look at here, top 100 test scenarios in inventory management, introduction to testing, SDLC. Now every week we will be uploading more information, a good information right from the industry's hands. If you're not able to go and then buy a book, still blog reading is always helpful. So we try to help people in terms of this. Open Mentor will try to help you in that. If possible, you can refer this blog or make use of this blog. Also, we have got one more blog. Okay, this is qamonitor.blogspot.com. That is also vital information that we try to, in terms of processes, right? Simple steps to improve testing processes. Again, we analyzed so many problems across the industry. We are trying to give information. So this blog reading also helps people to improve their knowledge. So if I want to know if a person is scalable, right, the person should go the extra mile. Reading habit is important. The ability to face the challenge is important. Willingness to troubleshoot is important. If these are missing, that means that this person is happy with whatever he or she has, not ready to go the extra mile. When you go the senior positions, this is extremely important, facing challenges.